Imagine biting into a warm, fluffy donut, its sugary glaze melting in your mouth, revealing a soft, pillowy interior. That's right, today you're in for a delightful treat as we unravel the process of making homemade donuts. This isn't just about satisfying your sweet tooth, it's a journey into the heart of comfort food, a tantalizing adventure into the world of culinary delights. The process is simple, the result is irresistible. So get ready to roll up your sleeves and embark on this sweet journey. To begin with, gather all the necessary ingredients. You'll need basic pantry staples such as flour, sugar, yeast, eggs, milk, butter, and a dash of salt. The magic of donut making lies in these humble components. Flour forms the backbone of our donuts, giving them their structure. Sugar not only sweetens the donuts, but also aids in browning and moisture retention. Yeast is our rising agent, responsible for that light and airy texture we love. Eggs contribute to the richness and color, while milk adds a tender crumb. Butter imparts a delicious flavor, and a dash of salt balances the sweetness. Remember, the quality of your ingredients matters. Fresh, high-quality ingredients can elevate your donuts from good to great. So go for that top-shelf flour, use fresh yeast, and don't skimp on the butter. With all your ingredients at hand, you're ready to dive into the donut making process. Now the magic begins. Start by activating the yeast in warm milk. Meanwhile, whisk together your dry ingredients. Making a donut dough is a process that requires precision, but don't worry, we'll walk you through it. First things first, yeast is our little secret to a fluffy donut. To activate it, you'll need warm milk. Not too hot, not too cold, just warm enough to wake up the yeast without scorching them. Yes, yeast is a living organism. Treat it gently. While the yeast is doing its thing, let's whisk together the dry ingredients. We're talking flour, sugar, a pinch of salt, and a hint of nutmeg for that extra layer of flavor. Make sure to sift the flour for a lighter dough. Oh, and remember, baking is a science, so accurate measurements are key. Now, let's go back to our yeast. It should be frothy by now, telling us it's ready to work its magic. If it's not, well, it could be that your milk was too hot or your yeast too old. Either way, don't fret. Just get new yeast and try again. Once your yeast is activated, it's time to introduce it to the dry ingredients. Pour the yeast mixture into the dry ingredients. Add in your beaten eggs and melted butter. Remember, everything should be at room temperature. Cold ingredients can slow down the yeast. Now, this is where the magic truly begins. As you mix these ingredients, you'll see the dough start to form. It might seem a bit sticky at first, but don't worry. With a bit of kneading, it will become smooth and elastic. And there you have it, you've just made the base of your donut dough. It's not quite ready to be transformed into those delicious rings of joy just yet, but we're getting there. Once you've mixed your wet and dry ingredients, you'll have the base of your donut dough. And that, my friends, is the first step to creating the perfect donut. Roll up your sleeves, it's time to get your hands dirty. Knead the dough until it's smooth and elastic. This is an essential step in our donut making journey. The kneading process develops the gluten in the flour, which gives our donuts their delightful texture. Now let's get to it. Press the heel of your hand into the dough, pushing forward slightly. Fold the dough in half, give it a little turn, and then knead again. Repeat this motion for about 10 minutes. Yes, it's a bit of a workout, but think of the delicious reward at the end. As you knead, you'll feel the dough becoming smoother and more elastic. That's the gluten doing its magic. When the dough is ready, it should be soft, stretchy, and bounce back when poked. If it tears easily, it needs more kneading. Once kneaded to perfection, it's time for the first rise. Place the dough in a lightly oiled bowl, cover it with a damp cloth or plastic wrap, and let it rest. This is the dough's time to grow and develop even more flavor. Choose a warm, draft-free spot for this process. It should take about 1 to 2 hours, but it's not about the clock here. It's about the dough doubling in size. After a good knead and a patient wait, your dough is ready to take shape. The next step, shaping these into your soon-to-be delicious donuts. Stay tuned. Scene script, here comes the fun part. Roll out your dough and cut out your donuts. Then it's time for them to sizzle in the hot oil. The magic of donuts truly begins to take shape in this stage of the process. After your dough has risen perfectly, it's time to gently roll it out on a lightly floured surface. The thickness of the dough is crucial here. You're aiming for about ½ inch thick. Too thin, and your donuts won't have that satisfying puff. Too thick, and they might not cook through completely. Once your dough is rolled out, it's time to cut out those beautiful donut shapes. A round cutter works best, but if you don't have one, a glass rim will do the job just fine. And don't forget the donut holes! Those little bites of heaven shouldn't go to waste. Now for the sizzle. You'll want to heat your oil to approximately 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Maintaining this temperature is key for achieving that beautiful golden brown exterior. Too low and your donuts will absorb too much oil and become greasy. Too high and they'll burn before they have had a chance to cook through. Lower your donuts gently into the hot oil, a few at a time. When they're a lovely golden brown on both sides, lift them out and let them drain on a wire rack or paper towels. Freshly fried and golden, your donuts are almost ready to devour. To finish off, dip your hot donuts in a sweet glaze or dust them with powdered sugar. This final touch transforms your donuts from simply delicious to irresistibly divine. But don't stop there. Feel free to explore other options. Sprinkle them with some cinnamon or drizzle them with chocolate. Want a surprise inside? Inject them with your favorite jam or custard. The possibilities are endless. And there you have it, homemade donuts ready to be savored. Enjoy this sweet indulgence.